recording. We are recording. Okay, we're going to get started. Craig Denton, how are you, Craig?
Yeah, I'm all good. Thank you. Thank you, Keith. Yeah, all good.
Brilliant. So, Craig, firstly, congratulations, having completed your 30 days alcohol-free program. Introduce yourself, buddy, and let us know a little bit about you.
Yep. My name's Craig. I'm 37 years old. I've been involved in sort of teaching in the public, private sector, gone into sort of like sports coaching, business development, done that sort of stuff. Just wanted to reach out in terms of just thinking that I'm drinking a little bit too much midweek. Reached out. That's me. I've got a family, a wife, and a 3-year-old daughter.
So you've got your wife, you've got your 3-year-old daughter, you've got a full-time job, and you've also got another time job. Tell us a bit about that.
Yep. Sort of like I would call it probably part-time as a non-league football manager at Hallam Football Club, which is step 5 in the Northern Counties Premier.
Yeah.
So a busy social life on the side. Non-league football, it takes a toll, and it's a big ask. It's something that I really enjoy. That's a little bit of a side sort of note in terms of in my life, really.
Yeah. Well, I definitely want to touch on that a little bit later, but if we could just go back a step, I suppose. So bring us back to, I suppose it's going September, October time. Bring us back. What brought you to the point, Craig? We said, you know what? I want to reevaluate things. I want to maybe have a look at my alcohol. I want to have a break from it. What brought you to that decision?
Yeah, I think I'm your typical sort of like middle of the road drinker. I don't binge drink. I don't look to go out at the weekends and drink too much. I sort of got myself in a bit of a rut in where I was finishing work, having a couple of drinks midweek, going home, cooking dinner, a couple of glasses of wine, and literally only having 3 or 4 drinks midweek each night. And there was just a time where I just thought that was sort of catching up on me. And I've always thought about doing, Sober October and all the other sort of things what pop up to in terms of like a charity. But something sort of like just triggered in my head that I wanted to do something for myself, and that I reached out to yourself, and just for a little bit of a guidance, bit of inspiration, and trying to see if I can try and change a few little habits, really.
I like that, and that is something that has come up not only with me and you, but with so many people around the drinking, habitual drinking, isn't it? It's that kind of habit, and sometimes it's not for a reason. It's not a night out. It's not a party, an occasion. It's Tuesday evening and I'm having half a bottle of wine, and it's that kind of habit. Is that something that you kind of found yourself in?
Yeah. I think since being over the last sort of 30 days, I've always noticed it's been quite apparent that alcohol will always find a sort of purpose. Will always that you can always call upon it. Doesn't matter if you win, lose, draw. You can have a drink. If things are going good, if things are going bad, you can always fall to a drink. And I get a bit in a rut where just a couple of drinks at night. Just you go to bed and you just feel a little bit groggy. You don't feel yourself, and I think wake up in the morning. It's not. It's so important I get that message across, that like being like a middle of the road drinker. I'm not waking up feeling drunk or having too much to drink where I'm like, I've had 6 pints and
Yeah.
5 vodkas. It's just like a middle of the road drinking. Where
Explain that to me a little bit more then about the benefits, because lots of people are interested in going sober. Lots of people are interested. Tell me what the benefits are like, and in particular, I know sleep was a fantastic thing that really kind of in the first and second week you were like, I'm buzzing, Keith. This sleep is cool. It's a bit like having a drug, isn't it? Tell me about the benefits that you experienced.
Yeah, I would probably call them like sort of like life changing, and that's really dramatic. But I think it's for me to be able to have a full night's sleep without waking up during the night, a reckless night. I think really coming to terms with that, I'm putting sort of poison in my body.
Yeah, well, that's what it is, isn't it? We call it, poison wrapped up in an attractive label, whether it's wine or champagne or beer. It's poison.
Yeah, and I think it's been unbelievable, like the sort of 30 days where I've been able to go to bed 9-10 o'clock at night, and I just sleep straight through, and then you wake up 7-8 o'clock in the morning. At times I've been getting up before my 3-year-old, being able to sort of like have a bit of a spring in the step, going downstairs, making a cup of tea, getting breakfast, being really on the front foot in terms
I love that.
In my lifestyle, and I think it's had a massive impact on me personally, my work, my life.
I love that. And you know what? It's so common that people do it, but you don't know it until you do it. You don't know it because you just kind of in your norm, aren't you? And lots of people have midweek drinks or they'll drink at the weekend, but they're walking around in this clearly like a bit of a brain fog, but you don't know it because it's been happening for so long. It's I call it like you're walking around on kind of 60% battery, a bit like a phone battery, but it's only when you remove the alcohol, you start to get your good sleep, you start to maybe exercise, look after yourself, you're up at 80-90% and you're buzzing, you're feeling great.
Absolutely.
I like that. Tell me now, Craig, I remember, was it weekend one? And you essentially were at an event, and it was essentially a free bar. It was a funeral, which obviously is not an ideal event to be going to. However, we talked about it, as you mentioned it. Alcohol is for funerals, for weddings, it's for celebration. Alcohol is just everywhere, isn't it? You were at a free bar. How big of a test was that for you to go, do you know what? I'm okay. I'm not today.
Yeah, well, I started on the 16th, which was the Monday, and on the Saturday, it was a funeral of my wife's with friends and family, and it was a bit of a big test because that was sort of a really big part of the journey, especially at weekends for me. So like, I'm quite in control when it comes to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But when Saturday came along, and especially a free bar, it's really nice to sort of support, having that support and that network around you from your friends and family, which was really positive for me, and that helped. Huge challenge, but like that's what like inner self was sort of, if you can get through turning down a free bar on a Saturday afternoon, evening, your world is your oyster, and you can really kick on. And I sort of, I'm so glad that happened in that first weekend.
Yeah,
that really set the bar for me.
Yeah,
in terms of, that's what I've achieved. That's where I'm at.
Yeah,
really kick on from then. So
I love that. That's so good, and it was a big test, and you know what? Fair play to you. It was a really big test, and then going forward, then lots of benefits, feeling good, looking good, sleeping good, professionally wise as well. You mentioned it helped you professionally, but you also you applied for a new job.
So I just got in a bit of a cycle where I just wanted a little bit of a change in terms of my professional life, in terms of my work, and something to fit in with my family. I applied for a role which I didn't really expect to go and get, but it was very nice to go into that interview stage, the first interview stage and the second interview stage, where I had a really clear mind and Yes, I'm not saying that I wouldn't have got that job,
Yeah.
without being sort of like no alcohol in my body, but I think it's certainly, made a massive difference in terms of my sleep, in terms of my eating. So, going into that interview or even work as in general, I just felt a lot more present, more aware, more sort of with it, really.
You know what? Do you know what I often find? And you are not the first person to either get a promotion or to smash their targets or to have their best quarter of the year from a sales perspective or just to go and get a new job. I think it's that clarity and it's that kind of ability to go, I can see things. Here's what I would like to do. That probably comes from a bit of confidence as well to go, do you know what? I can do this. I'm feeling good. And in your mind, when you're feeling good, what there is no boundaries to what you can achieve.
Absolutely. I think, when you are, I've always, I didn't want to have that mindset where I was ticking down the days of me not drinking.
Yeah.
And I never wanted to go, oh, this is 19 days, this is 20 days, this
Yeah.
is 24 days. Well, I've only got 7 days to go. And I think when you go on the journey after you've done the first week or so, you really see the benefits. In the sleeping and the eating, my hunger to eat proper food and to get up, go out for a run and a jog, that was huge for me.
Yeah. I love that. Was it weekend too? And you sent me that video and you were out for a run and do you know what? You look so happy. You were just buzzing. You were like, do you know what? I'm just doing it. I've done this with my family. I'm going for a run. I've got football later. And it's just it's like you were having your perfect day essentially, weren't you? Because you removed that alcohol. You could do what you wanted to do.
Absolutely. And I think I've been able to try and sort of like restructure, frame my mind in terms of alcohol and how that serves sort of like a presence in my life and where it fits in. But getting up on a Saturday, for football, being able to make breakfast, have a clear mind, sort of even midweek, it just, you have something a little bit about yourself, and it's really, really difficult to explain. But I think it's a bit of it's like a presence. It's like you feel in the sort of in the presence, and you feel like really uplifted, energetic, lots of energy.
Yeah,
and
I love that. I love that. What would you say then? Because there's going to be lots of guys in my network, your network, that they'll have a look at this. They'll be like, what are these two guys going on about this, taking a break from alcohol? But like, what would you say to any guys that are maybe thinking about it? We've got the new year coming up and lots of people often reevaluate things. What would you say to anyone who's a bit curious to think, I wonder what I'd be like if I took a 30-day or 60-day break from alcohol?
I think it really, it's a really positive move to do. I think it sort of reframes your thinking, your inner self. You get to really view what it's like without alcohol. For me, I can go through a couple of days and you go, I feel a little bit better. I've not got a headache. When you do a long period of time, such as 30 days, and obviously I reached out to you, Keith, and wanted to just cut down drinking midweek.
Yeah.
After meeting you on that Monday, Wednesday, Thursday came along, and I was like, wow, I can really see like that benefit, that really
already.
And that's when I wanted to go, do you know what? I ain't drinking midweek, and that's when it kicked on. And I sort of, when I reached out to him, my focus was just to sort of drink at the weekend, but it actually turned, it reversed where I went, this is great, not drinking midweek.
I love it. I love it. I know. I remember that first conversation, and you knew you wanted to do something, and you were a bit unsure. And I was like, Craig, we're doing a month. We're doing it, and you've done over a month, which is class. And because you know what I mean about there's that feeling. So let's say lots of people drink at the weekends, Friday or Saturday or Sunday, or all of the above. Feel rotten Monday. They feel anxious. They feel like they've missed the gym. They've not been there with their family. Tuesday, feeling same, just starting to come round. Wednesday's the kind of bridge day. Thursday, feel all right. Friday, here we go, and you just forget the pain of the last weekend, and just this cycle, isn't it, that people go on?
Yeah, you're getting a bit of a cycle, getting a bit of a rut where, you know, you finish work at a certain time, you go home, you know, you might pop to the pub, have a couple of beers, you might go home, you know, start cooking tea, open a bottle of wine, have a couple of glasses. And I think for me, it wasn't like accepting to be like, oh, I'm an alcoholic, I've got a problem with drinking. I think that's
100%. Yeah.
I think that's so important for people to understand that, you know, not putting your hand up saying, oh, you know, I'm an alcoholic.
No.
For a day.
I'm a middle lane drinker. That's what it is. And what can you do? Yeah. It's so.
I reached out to you, and I think if I was watching this video, one of the things that I probably want to really like log on to is that financial investment, and that I need to be careful what I say, because I don't want people to think that I'm selling you, Keith, or trying to say, oh, you need to contact Keith and you need to buy his product, or because that's amazing, and you know you'll stop drinking. For me, it genuinely worked that I financially invested a really small amount of money, which gave me a real clear focus in terms. Right, I've invested that a little bit of money, which is actually a really small amount compared to the few bottles of wine I bought midweek, and those 5, 6, 8, 10 pints at the weekend. That's how it worked for me. I was going to do Sober October and all that jazz for charity. I didn't want it to do it for charity. I just wanted to do it for myself.
I like that.
And that was my focus, is doing it for myself, financially investing something where I know I wasn't going to quit. I'm not saying I'm bitter, but I think
I know exactly what you mean. It's I always describe it's a bit like the gym membership. If you were given a free gym membership and someone said, there's a gym around the corner, off you go, you can go there for a month, some people will go. Some people would never step foot in it. But when you pay, and there's a little bit of skin in the game from you, where you've had to invest in it, and you mentioned it a couple of times, you're like, I really want to get my money's worth, my investment, and it kind of keeps you honest, it keeps you on track, and you're like, I need to get something, I need to show something for this. So it's a clever way of thinking about it.
And I think if somebody's watching this, what like that, and I keep beating on about it, that I don't want people to think, oh, you know, to be successful, you just need to spend money and, you know, a product or a service, whatever. For me, it was the whole package. It was, you know, when you reached out to me in the morning and we did our, you know, what we're grateful for in the morning. We do those 5 snippets. You know, you shared books and audios. You shared things where I was able to sort of like go to work in the morning and listen to podcasts, and it was just sort of like reframing my mind and
I love that,
really clear. And I think, without being really dramatic, I was part of my life where I just wanted to cut down massive alcohol, and I think genuinely sort of changed my life in that moment, and reframed it where I need to think a little bit differently and plan a few things differently.
I love it.
And sort of get my house in order and just make sure I'm at that time and I'm looking after myself and eating right at right times.
It is. You know what? It's a reset, isn't it? It's a bit of a line in the sand, and you say, "Look, here's where I'm at now." You've kind of touched on to my last question. You started to feel better. You start to see the benefits. How was it, and how has it affected, in a positive way, your family, your wife, and your young daughter? What's that been like to be able to be there for them in this last 30 days?
Yeah, it's a lot of people would probably like hold it back, but I'm not going to. So, you know, there's been times where I've been able to, you know, be at football, just have a a couple of soft drinks, get home, be back in time for bedtime, be back in time to bath my daughter, you know, cook tea, relax, chill out during the week. You know, not coming home with like that anxiety of, oh, I need to get in the fridge, need a quick can of beer. I need to relax. I always relax when I have a drink. Can I go for a walk? Can I do something a little bit different? It's had a massive positive effect on my family. You know, I feel fresh, on the front foot, awake. And again, my focus is now is just trying to really not drink midweek, to enjoy myself. If that's a weekend and not binge drink, I never binge drink anyway. I keep referring back to that middle road drinker. Just to be aware of it, and to make sure that you're looking after yourself. And
when you look after yourself, you're there for your family, aren't you? Because our family needs us, and we have that responsibility to bring our best versions to the table and to show up for our families.
Absolutely. You know, that you know, when your head hits the pillow at night, you know, it's lovely to be able to think, you know, your family is safe, you know, what you're doing in life is making the right choices with work, family commitments. And I think being in control of that little bit of a drink is a really good feel factor. It makes you feel in control. And I couldn't recommend it anymore to really, for people to buy into being aware of your drinking. I'm not telling people that they're drinking too much. I'm just saying, you know, to be aware of, actually, am I consuming a little bit more than I feel comfortable with, and what can I do? What can I replace that with, if that's when I run, walk. You know, I've tried zero beer. I've had a bit of a journey the last couple of weeks. You know, I've had zero Guinness, I've zero Erdinger.
You've tried them all, haven't you?
Zero Heineken, and genuinely, they will play a part in the fridge. They will. I think, you know, they're not going to replace that or fix or buzz, but at times I've been watching football, and I've had a bottle of Heineken Zero in my hand. I probably sort of forgot that I've got a zero beer in my hand. I'm just watching.
Totally. People will want to know then, what's your top alcohol-free beer that you've had in the month, because they'll want to know. What would you recommend?
The Erdinger Zero, with the electrolytes built into it. That's beer. It's quite a hoppy beer. Heineken Zero is not bad. Erdinger Zero, like I've said, and Star of Pramen Zero.
And the Erdinger, basically, if it's got electrolytes, it's basically healthy for you, and it makes you like an athlete if you're drinking it. We'll keep telling ourselves. Now, before I let you go, your football team, Hallam FC, you've pretty much won nearly every game since you've been on this run with me, haven't you?
I knew you were going to mention that.
So I think the club is going to have to retain me on a 10-year contract.
That's right. Yeah,
basically, if we get 7 promotions, Premier League, is that the plan?
I'll get the chairman to reach out for you, and it'll put you a good table. But I think that's a really good point. You know, in terms of being really like open, transparent on the front foot when it comes to football. You know, having them relationships, talking to players, the supporters, being really clear in your your wording.
Clearing the message that you're giving out, isn't it, to people? Because that's your job as a coach. You're basically a communicator of ideas, really, as a football coach.
Yeah, I think that it really serves a big purpose. I think having that clear mind, like you said, as a communicator, and being able to be transparent and open. I think being alcohol free for 30 days and within that pathway, it's made a huge difference in terms of my football coaching, managing sort of thing. But yeah, it's been feeling great, and I'm trying to now the next couple of days to be able to, even though I can sort of, I use inverted commas, that I can drink today.
Yeah.
This 31st day. I've decided not to.
Yeah.
Because the whole reason why I came into this was to limit my drinking midweek. So I will focus on coming into Friday where I'll be able to have a couple of drinks Friday, Saturday, a couple of drinks Sunday, and then I'll go back into the cycle where midweek for me works, that I drink midweek, and that is it.
Yeah, it's do you know what? It's just you've zoomed out and you've been able to see it for what it was, and to take that break. And do you know what? To this, and I commend you, Craig Denton. You completed your challenge, and you should be proud of yourself. And it's been really amazing. It's been fantastic for me to walk with you, and to see you just in this period of time. It's been amazing. So
yeah, no, I really appreciate that, Keith, and I think I'm so glad that I've been able to reach out to you and that you've supported me on my journey. And again, I talk about like journey and being a part of something, but again, he's literally for that middle road sort of drinker who just thinks, do you know what? I just need to pull it back a little bit, and that's where I'm coming from, and supported me massively. So a big thank you to you.
It's been amazing. Thank you, and well done to you, Craig Denton. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.